It's time for another segment of Mr. and Mrs. Medicare, saving seniors from a high cost of healthcare, debunking Medicare, making Medicare easy to understand for all seniors. All guests of any of the Medicare segments receive the free ebook written by your MedicareLady.com. Here are your hosts, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein.
By the way, if you do want that free ebook for Medicare, everything about Medicare, just email wow@omgtalk.com. Email wow@omgtalk.com for the free ebook. Put in the subject line free Medicare ebook just for you. Here's one more announcement by Tony of TRC Voiceovers. If you're looking for a voiceover guy and it's not AI, he is authentic as he can get. Take it away, Tony.
You have been listening to the OMG podcast with Paul Finkelstein. We can help you build wealth without hogging your time. Schedule a one-on-one with us. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another OMG podcast segment.
And by the way, Paul Finkelstein is quite a popular name, but there's over 50 Paul Finkelsteins on LinkedIn with the exact same first and last name, spelling and all. But this Paul Finkelstein you're listening to now doesn't like to stay in the lines because he thinks bigger than that. How about yourself? How big do you think? Unless you are okay with the status quo, mediocrity, never getting a raise from your job or business ever, definitely not interested in entrepreneurship, you will find this talk to be extremely, very, very boring. But I invite you to have a big open mind and to some new concepts in this short 5 to 20 minute talk by Paul Finkelstein. Dream big, Paul Finkelstein. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Finkelstein. I'm the Dream Big thinker here. And let's see how more alike we are than different. How many people here, by a show of hands, mowed the lawn in your neighborhood? Are you a lawnmower kind of guy? Your dad had a lawnmower. Your family had a lawnmower. Your neighbor had a lawnmower. It was collecting dust. And you thought, maybe I could make a couple extra bucks with that. And I not only could take care of the lawn at my house where I grew up, but I also took care of the lawn next door to that person, the other way next door, and next door to that person. And that gave you some nice cash flow for some gas money, some going out money, etc. So if you mowed the lawns, well, maybe we're more alike than we are different. Perhaps maybe there's a couple more reasons, because mowing the lawns didn't really help us all year round because we couldn't do it in the wintertime. So if you were the kind of person in the wintertime that saw some dust collecting on an apparatus called a snow blower, not the kind like a snow plow, but, a snow blower that you put gas in it and you direct it up and down different driveways where you could earn a buck in the wintertime as well. So if you operated a snow blower or a lawnmower, then we're more alike than we are different. Or how many people here actually worked in a kitchen in a restaurant when they were 15, 16, 17 years old? Maybe perhaps you had a family business and you were in there when you were 12 or 13 or 14 years old, operating something that your family said this is a family obligation and you've got to help out the family. But why dream big? Did you know that millions of people dream of wanting to have their own business? Is it because they know that having their own business can give them certain freedoms? Although if that business was the kind of business, it was a self-employed kind of arrangement versus being an employee, you pretty much own the job. So now you have no time at all because you're busy managing that restaurant. Unless perhaps you had a system that you systematized that restaurant so you didn't have to be there all the time. But why dream big? I'm going to talk about 6 different curse words that I think amateur entrepreneurs focus on a lot. And some of these particular curse words that makes you think about is the word mediocrity. Mediocrity. I'm just going to give you a sound effect for that, which is this is the sound of, you just boredom, putting you to sleep. These are amateur entrepreneurs have these curse words. They don't want to be mediocre. They want to be excellent. And then there's tired. Tired, and usually tired follows sick. We'll get more into that a little bit later. Then there's comfortable. If you're in your comfort zone. If you like more, then you're definitely a dream big thinker. And then there's procrastination. The one word sound effect there is the sound of yawning and putting you to sleep there. The last two curse words that amateur entrepreneurs, I think, say a lot. They're allergic to these two words, and really they don't become successful, and that's work or effort. It does take work or effort to be successful. Raise your hand if you agree with that. I actually have somebody that is putting something in the chat, probably on my YouTube, and it looks like it's in Spanish, so I have no idea what that means. But anyway, why dream big? How many people are saying my job is sexy? I love my job. Like said no one ever, right? If you're an entrepreneur, a job is not sexy, but I don't need a stinking raise. I don't want a raise. I don't want a job. I don't want a business that gives me more revenue. I'm okay with the status quo. I make good money. How many people has actually said to somebody, I make good money? If I had over the last 2 decades, a nickel for every time someone said good money, I'd probably have a nice big chunk of change. We're not here to talk about good money. We're here to talk about very good money. So did you know that you're surrounded by people that settled for something less? Did you know that 95% of 100 people on your cell phone are dead, disabled, or broke by the time they get to 65? And most people are living paycheck to paycheck. It's a sad fact as what it is, though. 4% of America, I'd venture to say around the world, 4% are financially okay, and 1 is amazingly rich. Like Elon Musk that's ridiculously amazing rich. It's like $700 billion for your paycheck. How would you like a paycheck for $700 billion? Well, anyway, most Americans are people that own businesses might not even know what their fund number is. What's a fund number? A lot of people, financial professionals, think about a FIN number or a financial independent number. But what's a fund number? I think you're made it successfully when you could do what you want, when you want, how you want, where you want. No one dictates when and how you do something. You could take off work and your business will still thrive. That's a fund number to me, right? Wouldn't that be fun? But here's a definition of success, one of my favorite definitions of success, and that success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream come true. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream come true. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream come true. I did say it 3 times. This is not AI. This is a real person. I am right here. But success looks different through the eyes of a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old, an 80-year-old, a 90-year-old, a 100-year-old. But take a piece of paper out in front of you and draw a circle on it. And inside that circle, draw an S with 2 vertical lines. That's the universal symbol, I think, for a dollar sign. Or at least in the USA anyway, a dollar sign. So inside that circle, I'm just curious, how big of a circle did you draw? Did you draw a big circle? Did you draw a medium circle? Did you draw a small circle? That's your income circle. You don't make no more. You might make less, but that's the maximum amount of money you could ever make. So if you made that maximum amount of money for the rest of your life, how would you feel? Have you heard of the book, Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant? It talks about the 4 ways that you could make money. Now, if you actually just humor me and draw a circle around your income circle, now you got 2 circles around a dollar sign. That outside circle represents your dream circle. 45-year plan, your dreams. How many people here reach outside your income circle to your dream circle? It's kind of like breathing and pushing and challenging and stress and all kinds of trials and tribulations. It could be like birthing. It could be stress. It doesn't have to be stress. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? But how do you help an old lady cross the road? Well, a nice person does that. A mentor does that. A coach, a gentleman, a mensch, a distinguished Toastmaster, a kind person. These are the kind of people that you want to help you cross the road. Who would actually help an entrepreneur or self-employed person cross the road, or the dance floor, as I like to call it, to the business owner and investor side of the dance floor? There was you see that picture of me there on my 13th birthday? It's right down over there. That's me when I was 13. And there was a DJ. My mom threw me a party, and the DJ said to all of the kids that came to the party, let's dance, he said. But on the left side, all the kids were lined up and standing there, and they had to run across the dance floor as soon as the DJ gave them an okay to do that, and to run across the other side of the dance floor. And he said, Red Rover, let Johnny come over. I think of that DJ telling the self-employed and the employee to run across the dance floor to the business owner or investor side and said, Johnny, come on over, come to the other side of the dance floor. Are you interested in being a business owner or investor? And they would run all the way across, just like those 13-year-old kids did. Well, some did later in life as adults, and some didn't. They'd rather be an employee or self-employed person. They were okay with their income circle. But maybe perhaps if you're not okay with your income circle and you want some more out of life and you want a dream circle, more dreams in your dream circle, you're in the right place at the right time, because after this presentation for about 7 to 20 minutes, you were invited to email me at wow@omgtalk.com. That's wow@omgtalk.com. And I'd love to be in touch with you. You could also text me Dream Bigger at 561-302-0051. That's Dream Bigger at 561-302-0051. But who would help the employee and self-employed person get to the business owner investor side? Same kind of people, a coach, someone who likes to help people, a mentor, a kind person, entrepreneur, or business owner who was once an employee and wants to help other employees get freedom. Why does it feel so good to help someone? Why does it feel so good to actually exercise? And when you're done with exercises, you say, why does this feel so good? Why does it feel good to mentor someone? Why does it feel great to educate someone and teach them the ways of how money works? Who will teach you if I don't? And what will happen if you don't listen? Right now, their mentors come and go, and you touch by thin threads. And if this is the thin thread that we meet here today, feel free to email me at wow@omgtalk.com. I'd love to connect. Or you can go to omgtalk.com, and it would be at my YouTube page. And over there in the more section is my Calendly, and we could arrange a Zoom meeting, or you would go to omg1to1.com to go right into that Zoom meeting. But why don't people dream big? I'll tell you why. I think it's because of TikTok, TV, Netflix, binge watching, other time zappers. We all have 168 hours a week, 45 years. Are you tired yet? Here, I told you earlier that sick precedes tired. I told you there was a word that comes before tired, and that's sick. If you're sick and tired of a boss, if you're sick and tired of not getting a raise, if you're sick and tired of not increasing your revenue, if you're sick and tired of your sales force not listening to you, if you're sick and tired of being broke, if you're sick and tired of your income circle falling short of your dream circle, then maybe you're ready to dream big. Let's chat. I have a proven plan that I'd love to chat with you. Just email me wow@omgtalk.com or put some comments in the chat in English and let's connect. Well, why don't more people do this? And there's about 5 or 6 reasons why more people don't dream big. They stay stuck in it as an employee or self-employed person, and they just don't know about the business owner or investor side. And that is fear. False evidence appearing real, lack of capital, lack of money, lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of confidence, which Toastmasters International, a very economical program that can help anybody and give people more confidence to be a better public speaker and a whole bunch more. So why dream big? So again, false evidence appearing real is the acronym for fear. And you could say now, forget everything and run is the acronym for fear. Here's 4 books I highly recommend. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, How to Be Rich by J. Paul Getty. An amazing book, by the way. I love that one. There's also Grinding It Out. I didn't have that on my list, but Grinding It Out by Ray Kroc. Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And Think and Go Rich by Napoleon Hill. So when you're ready to get your dream circle, you'll be ready to dream big. And then let's touch base and chat about some options for you. Do you keep your options open? Just email me at wow@omgtalk.com and talk about your dream circle. Your income circle is falling short of your dream circle and you want more. Maybe your health is dependent on you being a dream big kind of thinker. So I do thank you for joining me here this evening. I give the last word to my Medicare lady because she has important words out for our senior community.
It's time for another segment of Mr. and Mrs. Medicare, saving seniors from a high cost of healthcare, debunking Medicare, making Medicare easy to understand for all seniors. All guests of any of the Medicare segments receive a free ebook written by your MedicareLady.com. Here are your hosts, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein. You have been listening to the OMG podcast with Paul Finkelstein. We can help you build wealth without hogging your time. Schedule a one-on-one with us. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another OMG podcast segment.